Okay, we're live. I need one of those clappers. You know, like, take one. All right. So welcome, everybody, to this yoga class. Today, my exam yoga class, and this class is called Scapula Divinity. And just to give you a little information, we're going to focus mostly on the scapula. So those are those triangular-shaped bones on the back side of your body that are part of your shoulder girdle. And this class will move the scapula in a variety of ways to help stabilize and mobilize your scapula. So by doing that, you're able to actually move more freely, and it will make us much more adaptable in our yoga practice and throughout our life. So we're going to start by just finding a comfortable seat, sitting nice and tall, hands resting onto our thighs, closing the eyes, and then just taking a few moments to connect with the breath. Breathing in and out through the nose. And starting to bring that awareness into our bodies. So where we're going to focus on the scapula, noticing how as you inhale, there's an expansion of the ribs and chest, a little elevation of the shoulders. And as you exhale, all of that softens, and you feel the scapula kind of rest on the back body, feeling it resting against the rib cage. So already starting to bring awareness to that part of our body. With our eyes closed, we're going to take our right ear and tilt it towards our right shoulder. And then bring the chin back to center, switching sides, left ear over towards the left shoulder. And then bring the chin back to center, and now tucking the chin in towards the chest. And then lift the chin back up and open the eyes. All right, so we're going to grab a hold of our block, and the first thing that we're going to do today is we're going to do some what they call scapula scrubbing. So we're going to place this block either the thin way or the wide way beneath your shoulder blades, just at the base of where your shoulder blades land, like the middle of your back, that thoracic area, mid-thoracic area, and I'll just kind of show you. So if you have it the narrow way, that bottom of your block is going to go right at the middle of your back. But you can place it the flat way, and if that's too uncomfortable, you can always place it the wide way. So just laying on the block, again, the bottom of the block sits there right in the middle of your spine. You're going to place your hands at the base of your head to support it. Keep the elbows out wide. And then once here, just kind of roll from side to side, moving on the block, seeing how that feels. So this scapula scrubbing helps soften some of the tissues in the back body between the shoulder blades. And you can even, if you like, maybe press into the heels, lift the hips up a little bit, and then maybe rock back and forth. Just moving over the block, taking deep breaths. Good. Notice if you feel any sticky spots. This kind of helps loosen things up a little bit. Nice. Good. All right, so now we can take that block out from beneath our back and then come right back down onto your backs. We're going to place it between our thighs. You can place it either the thin side or the medium side, squeezing it between your thighs. We're going to start with our supported bridge pose. So to start, placing the hands down by your sides, we're going to press into the feet, lift those hips up towards the sky, keeping those frontal points level, squeezing the glutes, just starting to fire up your glutes. So in this low bridge, you can already feel how your scapula rests on the floor. We're going to extend the arms straight up towards the sky and just flip the palms up towards the sky, like you were going to press on the ceiling. So from here, we're going to protract the shoulders just a bit by pushing the hands away, like you were pushing on the ceiling, feeling the shoulder blades or your scapula just separate a little bit, come away from the midline, and then go ahead and release them back to the floor. Let's do that again. Push away, protracting the shoulders, keep squeezing the glutes, and then relax the shoulders back to the floor. One more time, push the floor away, and then release back to the floor. While the arms are extended, we're going to take that left hand, place it over the right fingers, and then just have a little wrist stretch here. Just draw the fingers towards the floor. And then we'll switch sides, bringing the right hand to the left fingertips. Good. And then go ahead and release the hands down by your sides. If you want, we can add a little pulse with the bridge pose, just pulsing into the glutes. Again, continuing to turn on those muscles. All right, and then go ahead and release the hips down by the floor, upper back, middle back, and down to the hips. All right, so we're going to come into our first set of abdominals. We're going to take leaving the block in between your legs. We're going to bring the hands behind our head, interlace the fingers at the base of your skull, draw the elbows towards one another, take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, lifting the shoulders off the floor. So bring your awareness to your low belly. You want to pull your pubis up towards the sternum, drawing in towards the midline, really activating those deep core muscles. As you inhale, release back to the floor. Exhale, lift the shoulders off the floor again. Feeling the scapula lift off the floor. Gazing down towards that magic diamond. And then inhale, release back to the floor. Exhale, lifting the shoulders off the floor. We're going to take that left arm, reach it up towards the sky, and then lift a little higher. Release it back to bring it back to your head, and then release back to the floor. On the exhale, lift the shoulders off the floor, extending the right arm up towards the sky. Lift a little higher, again, just lifting off that scapula. And then bringing the hand back to your head, inhale, release back to the floor. Exhale, lift the shoulders off the floor, extend the left arm up towards the sky. Reach a little higher. We're going to make a fist this time, and then bending the elbow, pull it back down towards the floor. Give it a little tap. Bring the arm back to your head, release back down to the floor on the inhale. Exhale, lift the shoulders off the floor, extending the right arm up towards the sky. We're going to reach a little higher, make a fist, and then bending the elbow, pull it down towards the mat. Little tap there. Bring the hand back to the head. Inhale, release back to the floor. We're going to do one more set of those. Exhale, lift the shoulders off the floor. Extend that left arm up towards the sky. Reach a little higher. Make a fist out of your hand. Bending the elbow, pull it down towards the floor as you're squeezing into the scapula. Bring your hand back to your head. Inhale, release back to the floor. Exhale, lift the shoulders off the floor. Squeeze the block. Reach that arm up towards the sky. Reach a little higher, making a fist out of that hand. We're going to bend the elbow and then pull it down towards the mat. Inhale, release back to the floor. Nice job, everybody. All right, so we're going to take that block out from between our thighs. You're going to place it over on the right side of your hip, your right hip, and we're going to come into a spinal extension. So you're going to extend the right leg out, and then roll onto that right hip so you can place your left knee on top of that block. Now you can place the block at the high side if you like, medium side, whatever works for you. That right arm's going to come out by your side. We're going to take the left arm and we're going to open it out to the left as far as you can comfortably. Now, if that's uncomfortable for you, you can come into goalpost arms. Deep breath here. Good. We're going to switch sides. So go ahead and take your knee off the block, roll onto your backs. And then we're going to roll over to the opposite side, extend the left leg out, place that block outside of your left hip, and then the right knee is going to come over top of that block. Left arm comes out by your side. That right arm is going to open up into either a goal post or fully extend out to the side if that feels comfortable. Deep breaths here. Draw the belly in. Feel the low ribs knit in. One more deep breath. Good. And then go ahead and take that block out from underneath your knee. Roll onto your backs. We're going to make our way up into our quadruped. Or all fours position. All right, so we want to make sure that we stack everything up nicely, right? Shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Roll the biceps forward. We're going to work a little bit more with the scapula here. We're going to do some protraction. So all we want to do is push the floor away. Feel the shoulder blades spread across the upper back. And as you exhale, release and soften that as the shoulder blades or scapula start to rest back on the rib cage. Let's do that again. Push the floor away. And then release and soften. One more time like that. Pushing the floor away. And then release and soften. From this quadruped, we're going to come into our dolphin. So placing the forearms onto the floor. We want the elbows underneath the shoulders. You can bring those hands together at the top of your mat, maybe interlace the fingers at your top of your mat if it's more comfortable. From here, let's curl the toes under and then send the hips back and up for our dolphin pose, and then bending the knees as much as necessary. Just feeling the shoulders, that nice stretch in the shoulders here. Take another deep breath in. And out. All right, we're going to lower the knees back to the floor, and we're going to try another variation of this dolphin pose. So we're going to start it in the quadruped. So we're going to kind of move the arms a little bit. We'll start on the left side. We're going to place that left hand on the floor opposite the right elbow. So just noticing how this feels here in quadruped, we're starting to load that right side. So to try it in dolphin, we're going to curl the toes under and then send the hips back and up again. And once here, go ahead and step those feet out a little wider. Now you can stay here with the hand on the floor, or if you like, maybe try and take that hand to the base of your spine. This is called forced use. So we are loading one side, creating more of a demand. All right, let's bring that hand back to the mat. Go ahead and lower your knees back to the floor. And we'll try it on the other side. So bring that left forearm to the floor, right hand comes to the mat. And then, again, you can stay here just in this quadruped, feeling how that kind of offsets that left side. To go into dolphin, we're going to curl those toes under. And then send those hips up and back. Staying here if you like, or maybe stepping the feet a little wider. And then maybe taking that hand to the base of your spine. I know I'm shaking here too. Good. All right, let's bring that hand back to the floor, lowering the knees back to the floor. We're going to take them wide, bring big toes to touch, and sit back into child's pose. And then just thrust the elbows and forehead towards the floor. Now, rather than just sink into the floor, we're going to turn our palms so that the pinky edge, the knife edge, is in the floor. And then push into the pinkies to activate the shoulders. Good. Looks good. All right, let's come back up into our quadruped. And then from here, we're going to make our way to standing. So just step one foot forward, then the other one, and then come on all the way up to the top of your mat. Good. All right, so we're going to start with our sun salutation 1. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Exhale, as you hinge forward, planting the hands, we're going to step back with the right foot, lower the knees, lower the toes. We're going to rise all the way up, reach the arms up towards the sky. Good. Now, with our arms lifted, now you want to make sure we're engaging the glutes, draw the low ribs in. We're going to create a little bit of elevation here, so just reach the arms a little higher, moving through the scapula, and then relax. Again, reach and relax. One more time. Reach and relax. Beautiful. Let's place the hands to the floor. Step back to our plank pose. Top of our push-up. Lower the knees. Lower the body. From here, inhale, lifting the heart. You want to pull through the hands. Keep the head of the arm bones lifted. And then push up through the knees. Curl the toes under. Lifting the hips back and up. Downward facing dog. Stepping the right foot forward, lower the left knee to the floor and the toes. Reach the arms all the way up. All right, draw the ribs in, nice and strong. Another elevation here. Reach a little higher, lifting through the scapula, and then release. Again, lift and release, lift and release. Beautiful. Release those hands to the floor. Curl the back toes under. We're going to step that back foot forward, folding. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up, rise up. Other side. Exhale, as you hinge forward, hands come to the floor, stepping back with the left foot this time. Knee comes to the floor, but not the toes. We're going to leave those toes curled under. Grab a hold of your block. Good. So we're going to take that block and place it at the base of your spine. Hold on to it with either hand. Fran, I actually have another block in my bag if you wanted it at the front. It's okay. All right. So roll the shoulders back. You want to pull on the block, create that dynamic tension. Notice if those ribs want to flare. You want to draw the ribs in, knit them right in. Another breath here. Good. Take the block to the floor. Hands come to the mat. Let's step back, plank pose. Lower the knees, lower the body. Flatten the feet. Then the hands, we're going to lift through the heart, pulling through the hands. Keep the shoulder heads lifted. And then push up through the knees, curl the toes under, sending the hips back and up. Now stepping the left foot forward, lower the right knee to the floor, but not the toes. Grab a hold of your block. And we're going to bring it back to the base of your spine. Good. Create that little bit of tension, roll the shoulders back. Deep breath here, hold the ribs in, squeeze your glutes. Nice, good. All right, go ahead and release the block. Plant the hands, step that back foot forward, folding here. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right, sequence 1. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, as you hinge forward, we're going to step back with that right foot. Lower the knee to the floor, coming to low lunge. We're going to leave fingertips on the floor here. And we're going to work with those shoulders. So we're going to hover the fingers off the floor, just kind of hover off your thigh. And we're going to retract the shoulders a bit here. Just kind of feel the shoulder blades draw towards one another. And then release. We're going to do that again. Draw the shoulder blades towards one another and release. This time we're going to draw the shoulder blades, retract, make a fist, and then bending the elbows, pull like we did in our abdominals. And then lower and release back to the floor. Let's do that again. Retract, make a fist, bending the elbows and pull, and then release back to the floor. We're going to do that one more time. Retract the shoulders, make a fist, and then pull back. Good. And then release back to the floor. From here, we're going to lift it all the way up and come into goalpost arms. All right, so squeezing your glutes. Remember, draw those ribs in. Little pulse here. Just opening the shoulders a little more. Feeling the scapula retract at the back body. Nice. Another breath here. Good. All right. From here, let's take the hands to the floor, stepping back to our plank pose, top of our push-up. All right, we're going to lower the knees and then lower all the way to the floor. Once here, we're going to come into locust pose with an arm variation. So you're going to place the hands at the base of your spine, almost like you were stuffing them in your back pockets. Lift the shoulder heads back and away, peeling the heart off the floor, and then hovering the legs. So just keeping the head as an extension of your spine, trying not to bring that back bend into the cervical spine. Good. Release the legs. We're going to bring the hands back underneath the shoulders, pressing up through the knees, curl the toes under, and send the hips back and up, downward facing dog. Inhale, up onto the toes, bending the knees, look towards the hands. Exhale, step to the top of the mat, folding here, nice deep bend in the knees. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, other side, hinging forward, plant the hands, stepping back with the left foot this time. We're going to stay low, right onto those fingertips. And then go ahead and hover the fingers off the floor. All right, we're going to do that little retraction. So draw the shoulder heads back. And then release. Retract and release. Let's add that retraction, make a fist, bend the elbows and pull like you're doing a row out in the gym. And then release that back down to the floor. Retract, make a fist and pull. Release back down to the floor. We're going to do that one more time. Retract, make a fist and pull. And then this time come all the way up. Come back into those goalpost arms. Good, draw the ribs in. And this time we're going to take one elbow and lower it down towards the rib cage and lift it back up, and then the other side. So just moving the scapula up and down on each side. Good. So a little different movement, but still working with that bone structure sliding on your back rib cage. Nice. Good. Let's do one more on each side. And then we're going to release those hands to the floor, stepping back to our plank pose. Knees to the floor, lower all the way to the floor. Let's bring those hands to our back pockets again. Take the shoulders back and away. Inhale, lifting through the chest, pulling it forward, lift the thighs. Another deep breath here. And then releasing the legs, we're going to bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Press up through the knees, curl the toes under, send the hips back and up. Downward facing dog. Inhale up onto the toes, bend the knees, look towards the hands. Exhale, walk the feet to the top of the mat, folding. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. All right, sun salutation A. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Exhale, as you hinge forward, hands to the floor, stepping back to your plank pose. Lowering the knees, lower the body. Inhale, lift into cobra, pulling the hands back energetically. And then press back into downward facing dog. Inhale up onto the toes, bend the knees, look towards the hands. Exhale, come to the top of the mat, folding. Inhale, lift the arm forward and up. Second time, exhale as you hinge forward, stepping back to plank pose. Lower the knees, lower the body. Inhale into cobra. And then exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale up under the toes, bend the knees, look towards the hands. Exhale, come to the top of the mat, folding forward. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Last one, exhale, as you hinge forward, folding, stepping back to your plank pose, top of your push-up. All right, lower the knees, lower the body. Good. Inhale, lift your heart. Feel the arm bones lifted. Nice. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. All right, we're going to take a couple breaths here in down dog. So a little movement similar to what we did in our low lunge. I want you to feel that extension in the scapula. So you're going to push the floor away, little extension there, and then come back to neutral. Let's do that 2 more times. Push the floor away, beautiful, and then back into neutral. 1 more time, really push the floor away, nice, and then back into neutral. Good. Inhale up onto the toes, bend the knees, look towards the hands. Exhale, come to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. All right. Second sequence. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, as you hinge forward, stepping back with the right foot, we're going to come all the way up to high lunge, crescent lunge. Reach the arms straight up towards the sky. All right, so find stability here. If you have to walk that front foot out a little bit, feel free to do that. That's going to give you a little bit more of a base. Squeezing through the glutes. We're going to take those fingertips and bring them to our shoulder heads like they were ripe little oranges. And then we're just going to take the shoulders and roll them back in a circular motion. And you want to feel more than just the shoulder moving. You want to feel that scapula sliding up and down on the rib cage. Yeah, so use your drishti here. Find a focal point that's going to help you with your balance. Let's do 1 more on each side. And then we're going to take that right arm all the way up towards the sky. The left hand's going to come to the base of your right glute. You're going to make a fist out of it, push it into that glute, kind of helping to engage that muscle. There we go. Reach a little taller with your right hand, and then lateral extension. Just reach over to the side. Nice. All right, from here we're going to bring that right elbow right down to your left thigh, come into twisted crescent. So prayer hands, twisted prayer lunge. You can bring your hands to prayer. If you need a little support here, you can always bring that right hand to the floor or to a block. Also have the option of lowering your right knee to the floor. Now, if you feel pretty good here in this twisted crescent, we're going to add a little more demand. We're going to load that left foot and then take the back foot, step it forward and back. Forward and back. Forward and back. Good. Stay here. All right, so from this twisted prayer, we're going to lower that right hand to the floor. Right knee is going to come to the floor, so that right hand's underneath your shoulder. Now your left hand, you have the option of bringing it across to your right shoulder and just cupping it. The left foot's going to slide back into our modified side plank. There you go. Couple breaths here. Good. Let's bring that left hand back to the floor. Left knee comes to meet the right one. We're in our quadruped, and we're going to work some protraction and retraction again. Yeah, it is warm in here. I'm feeling it. Push the floor away for protraction. And then soften the heart, soften the chest between the shoulders to retract the shoulder blades or the scapula. Let's do that again. Push the floor away. Feel the shoulder blades spread across the back body. And then soften as they draw towards one another. Again, push the floor away. And then soften. Good. And then come back to neutral, where the scapula resting right on the rib cages. Leave them there. Curl the toes under, lifting the hips back and up for downward facing dog. Come up onto the toes, bend the knees, look towards the hands, and either step or hop your feet to the top of the mat, folding. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Other side. Exhale, as we hinge forward, planting the hands, we're going to step back with the left foot this time. Stay on the ball of your back foot. We're going to come all the way up to that high lunge. Arms reach straight up towards the sky. Take a moment here to become stable. Squeezing your glutes, reaching through the shoulders. Good. All right, let's grab a hold of the top of those shoulders again. Fingertips right on the shoulders. And then rolling the shoulders back. So nice movement here. Remember to keep those ribs knit in. Squeezing your glutes. Good. All right, one more each side. And then we're going to extend the left arm all the way up towards the sky. Right hand's going to come to the base of your spine on the left. Kind of make a fist, press into that left glute. Draw the belly in, reach a little taller, and then lateral extension over to the right. Nice. From here, we're going to bring that elbow down, top of your right knee, come to prayer hands for this prayer twisted lunge. Now you have the option of lowering the left knee to the floor, stay here, or if you want to add more demand, we're going to load that front foot, step the back foot forward and tap, and then back. Tap it forward and back. One more time, tap forward and back. Good. All right. So from here, we're going to move to that modified side plank. The left hand's going to come to the floor, left knee's going to come to the floor. You can take that right hand across to cuff the left shoulder, and then just slide that right leg back into our modified side plank. Couple breaths here. Nice. And bring that right hand to the floor, left knee comes to meet the right one. Back into our quadruped, and we'll do that protraction and retraction again. So to protract, we're pushing the floor away, puffing up the upper back, and then retract, soften the chest in between the shoulder heads. And we're keeping the hips pretty stable here. We're just moving in the upper back. Protract, and then retract, and again, protract, and retract. Good. Come back to neutral. Curl the toes under, lifting the hips back and up, downward facing dog. Come up onto the toes, bend the knees, look towards the hands, and then step the feet to the top of the mat, folding. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, we're going to come into our stream now. So we're going to put it all together. Inhale, sweep the arms forward and up. Exhale, as you hinge forward, stepping back with that right leg, we're going to come into our crescent lunge, but you have the option of lowering the knee to the floor or staying high. So if we're staying high, we're hinged forward, hovering those fingertips over the floor. Remember, we have that option to take that right knee to the floor. We're going to retract the shoulders and release. Retract and release. Now we're going to retract, make a fist, bend the elbows, pull back, and then add an extension. Hold here. Release back down. Open the palm. Retract, make a fist, pull back, add that tricep extension, and then release back down. One more time. Retract, make a fist, pull back, and then extend. Good. And then release. We're going to lower that knee to the floor and lift the arms all the way up towards the sky. Good. From here, extend through the right. Left arm's going to come to the base of your spine over towards that right glute. Make a fist, push into it. Lift a little higher and extend over laterally. Good. Little side bend here. Release the head. Nice. Come back to center. We're going to grab a hold of our block and walk that block around to the long side of our mat, coming into a straddle stance. And I want you to pivot your toes, line them up so that the toes are parallel with, the toes are level and the heels are level. Feet are parallel with one another. All we're going to do is side lunge here. So bend one knee and then shift to the other side. Yeah, just go back and forth. Go at your own pace. Nice deep breaths here. Good. Come back to center. We're going to turn those left toes towards the front of your mat, and then go ahead and turn towards the front. You can take your block off to the side, placing your hands to the floor. Let's step back into a plank pose. Now from this plank pose, you have the option of coming into a modified plank. But if you are stable here, if you feel pretty good, we're going to do a little walk-in. We're going to lift one foot and then alternate. Just go back and forth. So walk in the plank. Good. One more each side. And then lower the knees. And lower to the floor. All the way down. So we're going to come into a goalpost locust. So go ahead and rest your forehead on the floor. We're going to bring your arms out by our sides in goalpost formation. Take a moment here. Let's hover the arms, feeling the shoulder blades retract. And then lifting the feet off the floor, hover the feet. If it feels good for the head, lifting through the chest. Remember that the head is an extension of the spine. All right, go ahead and release back down. Let's place the hands underneath the shoulders. Curl the toes under. Lift up through the knees. Sending the hips back and up. Downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we're going to extend that right leg up towards the sky. Step that foot about halfway forward towards the top of your mat. Grab a hold of your block. Place it underneath the hands and then lift off of the left leg into this modified warrior 3 or a standing split, standing L. Take a couple breaths here, really loading that right leg. Sit back into the leg, pull the chest forward, draw the belly in. Good. From here, we're going to lower the left foot to the floor at the back of your mat, and then lift and walk around to the other side. Come on up into goddess pose. So we're going to come up high, nice and tall. Let those arms dangle by your sides. Toes are turned out about a 45-degree angle. Nice and tall on the torso. And we're just going to take those shoulders and roll them again. Roll them back. Again, moving through the scapula. Yeah. Another deep breath here. Nice. All right, go ahead and straighten the legs. We're going to turn towards the front of the mat. Go ahead and place your hands to the floor. Lower the left knee to the floor. Left arms directly under the shoulder. Right hand's going to come across to cuff that left shoulder. From here, we're going to move into that modified side plank. So slide the right leg back. Good. Coming into a modified side plank. Stay here if you like. Or here, we have the option of hovering the right leg and maybe adding a pulse. Good. Nice. Go ahead and lower that foot to the floor. We're going to bring that right hand back to the floor. Bring your left knee to meet your right one, back into quadruped. So now that we're in quadruped, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a prep for what we call turbo dog. So this will be like turbo quadruped. So, and to come into this, what we're going to do is keeping the belly in, drawing the ribs in, spine is neutral, shoulders are resting on the rib cage. We're going to bend the elbows out wide just a bit, maybe an inch or two. And then draw those elbows in towards the rib cage. Hold here. So this is firing at the serratus. Push the floor away. Let's do that again. Take the elbows out wide. Pull them in towards the rib cage. Hold here. And then push the floor away. All right, we're going to continue that, but we're going to do it in down dog. So let's curl the toes under, lifting the hips back and up. You can leave those knees bent as much as you need to, really lifting through the hips. Let's take the elbows out wide. Draw them in towards the rib cage. Hold here. And then straighten the arms. Let's do that again. Take the elbows out wide. Draw them in towards center line. And then push the floor away. Good. Come up onto the toes, bend the knees, look towards the hands, and then step to the top of the mat, folding. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, other side, hinge forward from the hips. Plant the hands, stepping back with the left foot. This time we're going to stay in this high lunge. There we go, I'm going to keep my block. I'm all the way up. So high lunge, but we're hinging. It's just hovering the fingertips over the floor. Option to lower that left knee to the floor. Everybody good? Yeah. All right, little retraction in the shoulder, and then release. Retract, and release. Adding on, retract, make a fist, and pull, and then add that tricep extension. Good. Bring it back down, release. Retract, make a fist, pull, tricep extension, and then release. One more time. Retract, make a fist, pull back, and then release into your tricep extension. Good. Come back down. We're going to lower that left knee to the floor if it's not already there. Reach the arms straight up towards the sky. All right, extending through the left arm. That right hand's going to come to your left glute. Pressing there to engage it. Draw those ribs in. Reach tall. Extend over to the right. All right, let's lift it back up to center. We're going to bring our hands to our block and then turn towards the long side of our mat, other side. Line up your feet, toes and heels, and then let's do our side lunges. Just shift from side to side. Again, going at your own pace. Good. All right. Let's come back to center. We're going to turn those right toes towards the front of our mat. Walk all the way around, planting the hands. Let's step back into our plank pose. Again, option to come into kneeling plank. And we're going to walk the plank. Let's start to alternate those feet. Notice if you're puffing through the upper back here. We want the scapula neutral on the spine. One more each side. Good. Lower the knees, and then lower the body. Coming into that goalpost locust, let's bring the arms out by our sides. Resting the forehead onto the floor. Just take a moment here. We're going to hover the arms, draw the shoulder blades towards one another, hover the legs, and then lift the head if it's comfortable. Another deep breath here. Releasing the legs, we're going to bring those hands underneath the shoulders, pushing up through the knees, curl the toes under, and then send the hips back and up, downward facing dog. So let's take that left leg up towards the sky. We're going to step it about halfway up the mats, grab a hold of your block, and then come on up to your standing L or standing split. Pull the chest through, really load that left hip, nice and stable. Sit right back into it, maybe soften the knee if that feels a little better. Deep breath here. Good. So we're going to drop that right foot at the back of the mat, turn towards the long side of your mat, and come on up to goddess on the other side. Turn the toes out, knees bent, arms just dangle by the sides here. We're going to take those shoulders and roll them again. Roll the shoulders back. I don't know about anybody else, but I am dripping in sweat. Yes. Oh my goodness. All right, just moving, feeling that mobility in the scapula now that we've gotten through a good portion of our class. All right, we're going to quiet that motion. Go ahead and straighten the legs. You're going to turn your left toes towards the front of the mat, and then go ahead and bring your hands around. Lower that right knee to the floor. Right hand's directly underneath the shoulder. Left hand's going to come to cup or cuff your right shoulder, and let's slide the left leg back into our modified side plank. Stay here if you like, or hover that leg and add a pulse. Nice. All right, go ahead and lower that foot to the floor. Lower the left hand to the floor. Bring that left knee to meet the right one. We're going to come into that turbo quadruped. So starting here, lower bend it, take the elbows out wide. Draw them in towards one another. Hold here. And then push the floor away. Let's do that again. Take the elbows out wide. Draw the elbows in towards one another. And then push the floor away. All right, let's try that in down dog. Curl the toes under. Send the hips back and up. Here we go. Elbows out wide. Draw them in towards one another. And then push the floor away. Elbows out wide. Draw them in towards one another. Hold here. A little longer. Really feeling that serratus working. And then push the floor away. Come on up under the toes, bend the knees, look towards the hands, and then walk the feet to the top of the mats. Forward fold. Inhale, reach the arm forward and up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. How's everybody doing? Phew! It's hot here today. All right, good job, everybody. We're going to come down to the floor. That was a nice shoulder workout. How's everybody's shoulders feeling? Pretty good? Yeah. All right, let's come right down to the mat. We're going to come all the way down to our backs. So go ahead and roll all the way down. And I'll turn sideways. All right, just take a moment here. We're going to place that left shin across our right thigh for a reclining figure four. Nice way to open up the hip after your practice. And just to create a little bit of traction, you're going to take your right hand. Did I say right shin across your left thigh? Is that where everybody is? Left. Okay. Left hand. Place it into your left thigh. And then just push the flesh up and away, like you're creating a little bit of traction. Deep breath. And then from there, if you like, we're going to bring the arms into goalpost, resting here. Notice what happens with the ribs. If they want to flare, draw them in. Pull those low ribs in. Feeling that diamond collecting. So we want to make sure we maintain that to keep our neutral spine, neutral pelvis. A couple deep breaths here. All right, let's switch sides. So go ahead and place the right shin across your left thigh. And then take the palm of your right hand, place it up near the hip crease, pressing into your upper thigh, and then push it up and away towards the knee, like you were trying to push the flesh away from the joint. And one more time like that. Good. And then go ahead and release that foot to the floor. Well, actually, leave the foot. Sorry. Take your arms up in the goalpost again. Stay here. Feeling that opening across the chest. And then go ahead and release that foot to the floor. Bring your arms down towards your lower abdomen, just placing the hands over your belly so that the thumbs come towards one another above the belly button, fingertips come together below the belly button. We're going to heel toe those feet together so the inner soles of our feet touch. Let the knees drop out wide for reclining bound angle. Good. And then release the hands. Let's bring them to the outer thighs. We're going to draw those knees up towards each other. Let's heel toe the feet to the outer edges of our mat. Let the knees knock in towards one another to help release the low spine. Now you can leave your knees together if you like, or you can sway them from side to side. Good. Come back to center, and then heel toe the feet back together. Extend the legs all the way out in front, preparing for your final relaxation pose, your Shavasana. So gently roll the shoulders underneath your back. Let your arms come out by your sides, palms facing up. Allow your feet to flop to the outer edges of your mat. And then let your bodies release and surrender into the earth. Feeling how your shoulders are resting into the floor. And then just kind of assimilating our practice. Noticing how you feel now, hopefully feeling a little more relaxed and loose. And then rest. You'll be here for about 5 minutes. But slowly bring awareness back to our bodies by wiggling our fingers and wiggling our toes. Gently rolling our heads from side to side. Allow your next breath to be a little deeper. And then rolling onto your right sides with your knees curled in towards your chest. Just take a moment here. And as you're ready, with your eyes closed or heavy, with your gaze soft, slowly lifting back up into a seated posture. Let's bring our hands together at heart center, pressed together in prayer. Bowing down towards our hands in gratitude for our practice this morning. And then lifting our heads, we can open our eyes. Thank you everybody for coming today and doing this video with me. I appreciate it. You guys did a great job. Afterwards, I'd like you all to kind of jump in front of the camera with me so they can see who is here. All right. The light and divine me bows to the light and divine you. We meet as one. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. If you don't mind, just come on up and say hello. Just come right in front with me. Hi, Lara. This is just so you can see who was here today in my class. These are my people. They're great people, and they're enjoying the program so far. So just thank you very much for giving me this opportunity, and welcome to my class. Have a great day, everybody. Thanks, guys. Thank you. And hopefully it recorded everything.